Hey guys, what is going on? This is Ip of RageQuitTV, gonna be casting a game between WhiteRa and Gamers Legion Snute. It is a ZVP on Tal'Darim Altar, and I can't wait to see what is gonna happen in this game. Of course, with WhiteRa, you can never predict what he's gonna do. He could always just go 2 base carriers. He could do a 4-gate, could do an 8-gate. I mean, you never really know. I said all kind of cheesy strategies because those are just interesting ones. He also plays very solid with Warp Prism play, and that is how his special tactics got so popular because, well, he was one of the first Protoss players to use Warp Prisms to a very successful extent. He is going to be building a 9-pylon and building in a location to go for a Forge Fast Expand, and that probe will most likely go to Scout after that, just so if Snute decides to go for a Hatch first build, WhiteRa can build a cannon to make his life hell. Snute, definitely an underrated player in my books. He is from Norwegia. He is Norwegian. I don't know if I said that correctly, but he is a very talented Zerg player that just does not get that much credit. I can't wait to see what his play is going to be because he does vary up his playstyle quite a bit. I think he is more of a macro Zerg player. He can build drones very well, not like Gret, but he can come pretty close to droning up that herd. We'll see exactly what he ends up doing. The thing I'm mainly watching is when he ends up getting his gas. I know he's going to be going for his pool. Are you going to build a pool? He looks like he will throw that down at 15, a little bit late. We'll see if WhiteRa does get here to deny the one hatch. If he can get his probe here, deny this hatch, it will force Snute to take a gas. Because he built that pool relatively late, he will go oversaturated on his mineral line. As you do see, he is already up to 15 drones on that. So if WhiteRa delays this hatchery, then you'll end up getting like 4 or 5 extra drones mining minerals, which isn't good, but isn't too bad. The one drone is going to sneak around, and that will be able to get the one hatch off. WhiteRa will not be able to block that. He is going back now to block it, but no, he doesn't get it. And now just imagine. We'll look when this hatch finishes. Imagine it finishes like 30 seconds later because WhiteRa was annoying, and 30 seconds is like a best-case scenario of him dealing with it. Snute is pulling off 4 drones to deal with that one cannon. Actually, only 3. Well, not the cannon, the pylon. And this is going to be very cost efficient for WhiteRa because this is 120 minerals per minute that Snute is going to lose, but it doesn't look like they really stay off the mineral line too long. Just going to return minerals, and I think that was worth it for both players. Very even exchange right there. The gateway going to be built, and it looks like Snute has a few lings out to just go roaming the area. Keep in mind, this hatch is halfway done. There's still no gas, and Snute is at his supply, well, at saturation limit. So you can see if he had canceled or not canceled, but delayed this hatch, that would be definitely a little bit hurtful to Snute. We do have WhiteRa sneaking a probe around, trying to see if the third base is up just yet. Of course, the Zerg player wants to take that third base before 5 minutes and 30 seconds to be absolutely safe against Void Rays. Another position Zerg could take the base is right there, just next to the rocks. Use it as a macro hatch, and then mine the gas from it. And when time comes where you need those minerals, you can just take out the rocks and build a hatch where the rocks are and have a fully functional third base with your macro hatch. It is pretty nice. We do have those lings going to take out and kill this one probe. Keep in mind, Snute does leave an overload here while he's taking this one base, so we can see if any pylons come down to warp in units and cancel this off. So very nice play right now from Snute. We do have the Cybernex core on the way. It looks like he went for a cannon before the gateway. My bad, I wasn't paying attention. But it looks like his warp gate will finish right around 7:30. Snute is going to be having his 2 queens out. No, just 1 queen right now, and the second one on the way. He did delay this 1 queen most likely because he was going for this 1 hatch. And, yeah, not too much going on. Still no gas from Snute, and this is getting a little bit late. He's got to start getting gas unless he is going to be very vulnerable to any type of early gateway aggression. Do have a ling up here for Snute now to defend against any forward pylons because he doesn't have the gas, so his units are not going to be good. It's very vital that he doesn't let any forward pylons get in because that would be absolutely devastating. He is going to see that 1 zealot, and we'd see the 2 gases now starting for Snute. Going to get 1 at his main, and actually 3. 2 at his natural, 1 at his main, and he will most likely throw up a Roach 1 right at 7:15 so he can deal with any early gateway aggression. We do have a Twilight Council on the way for WhiteRa. Most likely going to be going into Blink play. I don't think he'll be going into DTs, and I don't think he'll doing a quick rush to Templars, but you never know with him. We do have a Spine Cola being built, and that one Zealot is going to be falling back. We have a Probe now sneaking out. He does go past Snute's Ling on that Watchtower, so he should know there is a Probe on the way to throw down a forward pylon. The Roach one has now started right at that 7:15 minute mark. So now you know when you need to get that Roach one to defend against early gateway pressure. It is definitely something that almost every Zerg player ends up doing. We do have this one Ling still on patrol, and doing a okay job with his injects, missing a little bit right here. And is he going to inject it? There he goes. And he has the Queen over here. Notice WhiteRa places his pylon way out here. Snute does know about the probe, but he doesn't know about the pylon, because, well, he had control of this watch. I'm really surprised he has not dealt with that. It looks like he wasn't paying attention to the probe, but leaving the base, and this is going to be very bad for Snute, just because WhiteRa will have that blink, and having blink stalkers up on that high ground is so ridiculously abusive. As the one stalker does make it back, there are a few sentries here. That stalker's not going to be dying, so... Oh, wait, will it? Force field does come off, but the stalker does die regardless. Snute is going to be seeing that one pylon momentarily, sees the probe, doesn't see the pylon, but as we were saying, blink stalkers up here is so painful, because you just need to leave one stalker back. You can blink stalkers down here, do your damage if Snute tries to come to take this out. Well, WhiteRa can just blink back from the high ground and kill off units. It is a very abusive spot, and I don't see this third base living. He is getting another Spine Cola to defend against this. Does have a few Roaches on the way with Lings, but as I said, Blink Stalker's up here just so abusive. He places a pylon here, so he doesn't even have to keep a Stalker on the high ground. You can see WhiteRa right now just looking a few Stalkers to stop the mining, while he gets enough Stalkers to take out this Spine Cola without losing anything. There we go. WhiteRa is going to be taking out that one Spine Cola, leaves a few Stalkers up here so the pylon cannot go down. So he always has vision of this high ground. Meanwhile, we do have a big counterattack from Snute. WhiteRa has two sentries right here, so they will be able to throw up the force fields. If he gets them down in time, WhiteRa, get that down. There we go. Force field does go. That sentry does live. He is going to be backing up as he's very injured. Roach is now coming in, but they will not do anything against the Stalkers there. And now Stalker's going to be taking out more Overlords, trying to take out as many Lings and everything as possible. He knows he can get this base anytime he wants. It's not on his priorities. And now blink those Stalkers back to keep them alive from those Lings. More Lings going to be coming. WhiteRa going to be going back into this one crevice where there's now a cannon. And he can blink up to the high ground with his Stalkers. Few Lings coming in from behind, but that is not going to be enough. WhiteRa does go back up and now going to blink right on down. Just whittling his way on this one hatch. And Snute is going to be forced to give this up. He is now taking out these rocks. You can see him getting that macro hatch, as I said, right here while the rocks do go down. And then we'll be getting another hatch right here. A little bit odd that he decided to go for this macro hatch. It would only be 15-20 seconds. They delayed and could get it right here. You do see he's not stacking too many minerals, so he cannot immediately... Oh, no, he can immediately throw down another hatch. And going over to this lava... Oh, wait, I don't have lava. This is before the latest patch. Doesn't look like he has too much lava, so I guess he couldn't be using that minerals elsewhere. Pretty nicely done by him. Now Blink Stalkers just being as annoying as possible. The cannon protecting that one pylon, so Snute's going to have to pull quite a few units to deal with that. Snute does see WhiteRa on his way for that and cancels both of those hatches, and 4 Overlords will be going down. This one doesn't even try to make a break for the high ground. Instead, he just goes down so quickly. Snute going to try to go in to take out WhiteRa's third, but there is no third base. WhiteRa getting a blink to stop that Overlord from getting away, and now WhiteRa is going to be backing off. Has kept Snute to 2 bases. Snute now going to be taking his third base all the way down here, and WhiteRa has denied at least 700 gas for Snute. Just because every base, or every extractor, I believe, is 180 gas over 100 seconds. So 2 would be 360. He denied this base, and then he also denied this base when it was near completion. So that is quite a bit of gas that WhiteRa has indirectly denied. Now these Roaches going to come in, but the Stalker's going to blink to the high ground, get a nice position advantage. Going to attack the Lings before the Roaches come in. That is so nice. Gets a full round of Zealots as well. And WhiteRa may be able to hold this off. It looks unlikely. He's just going to blink these Stalkers down when they can and go on away. You saw the Lings want to go down, but decided to change their mind at the last minute and that will allow these Stalkers to retreat without taking many losses. But because Snute's had so much gas denied from him, he wants to go into Broodlord play most likely as he is getting that infestation bit, but he just can't. So it is going to be forcing a lot more roaches out. Snute just building so many roaches when this infestation pit should pretty much be a little bit earlier. Maybe it shouldn't be too much earlier, but when that finishes, I don't think Snute's going to... No, he does have the gas, so... I don't know what I'm talking about, guys, but Snute should have a lot more gas. He is sacrificing gas somewhere. Maybe it's on the upgrade. Snute at 0-1 while WhiteRa is at 3-0, so that looks like what denying all the hatches has done is slowed down his gas production, or his gas, and definitely slowed down the infestation pit a little bit. I mean, generally you get your Spire done around 12 to 13 minutes in ZVP, I think, and the infestation pit goes around 12 minutes. And it's finishing right around 14:30, which does delay Broodlords. He is getting pathogen glands right now. Is he getting a hive? No, not yet. Can't immediately research that. Doesn't have a Spire out, so he cannot go into Broodlords immediately. Still needs a lot more gas until he can go into Broodlord play, as he needs to get the hive, he needs to get the Spire. Then he also needs to get the Greater Spire. So WhiteRa denying those hatches definitely does set Snute pretty far behind, despite Snute being ahead in supply. He's got a lot of roaches and his tech is delayed. I think I've stressed that enough, so we'll go into what WhiteRa is doing. He has Templars out. He is getting a fleet beacon. So it looks like he will be going up into Mothership Place so he can do some type of toileting action. Or maybe he's just going to be building those carriers out. Because WhiteRa, he does actually build carriers every now and then. We do have Snute finally going to try to take out the cannon pylons up here, and that's not going to bother WhiteRa too much. This has already dealt so much damage. Snute going to be going up on 4 bases now, finally getting this 1 base up, getting that gas immediately. Actually, not immediately. That gas should be done by the time the 1 hatch finishes, but not going to be too much behind. The hive has started. He gets a Spire at the same time as the hive, so you can see he wants to go into Broodlord play. And we have Snute just moving around with his roaches. Did take out those pylons, and WhiteRa probably would want to engage right now before Snute can go up to Infestors. There is a observer here seeing out what Snute has, and we see him kind of sacrificing, cutting the corner again because he's been put so far behind by not getting gas. He doesn't have a single Infestor out, and he's not building any right now, and it's almost 18 minutes into the game. That is so late. Snute definitely trying to cut a corner here. If WhiteRa attacks, he can deal massive amounts of damage just because he has that upgrade lead, and it's against pure Roach. He has plenty of sentries with energy. Only 3 sentries, but they each have 200 energy, so that is 12 force fields, and that is enough to make Roaches relatively useless in large-scale battles. We do have Burrow from Snute. Does he have Tunneling Claws? No, he does not. So he could be trapped by force fields, but still does not want to get any Infestors out until he absolutely has to. You can see him building 12 Spine Crawlers. He is definitely cutting a corner here. At least he did get the Pathogen Glands upgrades. So if he needs to get Infestors, he can get them out. He is getting 8 right now, as he does see WhiteRa moving out. And now those Roaches going to go and try to do a little bit of counterattack just to delay WhiteRa. He knows he cannot engage this army, but he has a chance of pulling WhiteRa back. And maybe I'm wrong. He is going to go and pick off a few units. Realizes, okay, I cannot pull you back. Your army will just base trade with me all day. Going to try to target down those Immortals. They are the death dealers. Storm's going down on those Roaches. The Roaches do back off. Now going to pick off that sentry so he cannot get force fielded. Only 1 more sentry left, as we do have the Stalkers now coming in, but those Infestors now popping out. Snute has delayed it long enough to get those fungal growths out. More storms going off on the Roaches, and that is so many storms on the Roaches. More Infestors do come out there in melee headbutting range, and they could be targeting down, but WhiteRa choosing not to target them down, and so many fungal growths on these Stalkers right now, and Snute will just hold on. Those Infestors could not have come out at a better time. And it doesn't look like he lost too many of those Infestors, so he kept most of them alive. I think he built 8, and I'm counting 6, so maybe lost 2 Infestors there. Not too shabby. Gonna get a few Infested Tails to kill off this 1 Observer. And now WhiteRa is left in the dark, but behind that, he has built another base. And we have a Mothership on the way over. Maybe a misrally point, but I don't know why a Nexus would be misrallied. Where are WhiteRa's forces at? Where's his army? Just right here defending his 4th base. Because this is pretty vulnerable. He wants to keep this alive. And now the mothership is going to be coming in. We'll see exactly what it ends up doing. There he goes with the big recall on this 3rd base of Snute. That hatch will be going down. There goes another minimum of 380 gas that Snute will be denied over the course of the next 2 minutes. And that is absolutely huge. And I like WhiteRa's idea with the recall. He kept his forces right here, defend this base, and then recalls his units at this base, and Snute has to take a loss. If WhiteRa gets right here, Snute has the chance of attacking this 4th base and possibly pulling WhiteRa behind. But if he just recalls all his units there instantly, Snute can't really do a counterattack. Because if he goes for a counterattack, WhiteRa's already here, can blink up into the main and take out the Greater Spire and everything else. So brilliant play by WhiteRa with that mothership, showing us it's more useful than just vortexing units. Meanwhile, Snute is getting those Broodlord counts up. He has plenty of Broodlords out, for considering how much gas he has been denied, how long he is forced to be on 2 bases. We have more pylons being built by WhiteRa to deny this 4th base, or 5th base. I don't know what base this is anymore, but to deny that base, the mothership is out again. It is cloaking units. We have 4 Archons, which is enough to, I believe, 1-shot Broods. Or 2-shot them. It's enough to make a toilet scary. That is the key thing, but there are enough infestors to try to keep those Archons, fungal growth, or shoot infestants in the vortex to prevent any type of toileting action. We'll see if Snute ends up coming down to that. WhiteRa does have a Warp Prism with 4 High Templars in it. And now going to be morphing in 5 Zealots right here. Gets 2 cans protecting this 1 pylon. Hatch immediately gets canceled as WhiteRa does now want to move out while moving these Zealots in to deal with this base. Snute building a lot of Spine Crawlers right here. Does have 3, 2 already out, but here we go. The big engagement does go down. Infestors are going to go down. 1 falls, gets a Fungal Growth off on Zealots, goes back for those Zealots in the back. Feedback going off on a Infestor, it looks like, and those Infestors got to get the best Fungal Growths ever out. And those Broodlords right now are clumped up. And now they are trying to split as the mothership does come. Gets only like 1 Broodlord maybe. But this fight is not going in Snute's favor. The whole time you had WhiteRa with those Zealots going in the back right here. Killing off all the drones. That is definitely not cool. And I think it was only 1 Broodlord. Maybe another one hopped in or he killed it. Let's see if the replay goes any further so we can see that vortex. No, it doesn't. Oh well. I can't really think of where I want to go in that game. Oh, I know. I want to see if he built those infestors immediately after he saw WhiteRa move out. Or if that was just lucky timing by him. So, 8 infestors. Doesn't see it because he doesn't have this watchtower. So that was definitely lucky timing. But if Snute... Let's go back just to make sure a unit like a Ling did not die. I went back a little too far. Only 10 seconds. Oh, 2 minutes. That's too much. There we go. So let's go in Snute's vision. What keys him? Okay, he's got a lot of gas. He's got 1.6k gas. So that may be just it. But you can see... Hold on. Wait for it. Wait, they're coming. There we go. 6 infestors now out. We'll see what WhiteRa's doing. He has just literally started moving out, so those infestors could not be better timed. If Snute had control of this 1 watchtower, he would have also seen that and been able to time it that way. But very nice play by Snute getting those infestors out. And while I was talking, boom, got up into SC2 gears for you guys. So now we can analyze the APM first, because that is how we start off. We have WhiteRa, macro APM of 32 with a micro of 76. Snute with a macro of 52 and a micro of 138. Redundancy for WhiteRa, 26. Snute at 35. EAPM for WhiteRa, 79, 123 for Snute. So Snute definitely had more APM than WhiteRa. But WhiteRa, as you see, has those special tactics with those Blink Stalkers early game. That mothership usage, I mean, he is definitely very nice. Every click is meaningful. He has great strategy, and that comes from his long career in RTS history. Units built: 17 Corruptors, 24 Infestors, 75 Roaches, 108 Lings, 198 Drones, 2 Warp Prisms, 3 Void Rays, 1 Mothership, 18 High Templars, 6 Immortals, 5 Sentries, 59 Stalkers, 48 Zealots, and 83 Probes. And this 5 Sentry thing is pretty impressive because, how do I say it? I think I said, yeah, 3 Sentries when he was doing that, like, 18, 19-minute push. He only built 5 Sentries that game. So up to about 20 minutes of the game, he lost 2 sentries. WhiteRa doing a nice job at keeping those units alive. And we'll go over to ability groups. 28 Broodlord Morphs, 27 Fungal Growths, 29 Overseer Morphs, 5 Feedbacks, 2 Vortex, 1 Mass Recall, 12 Archons, 10 Storms, 40 Blinks, 2 Force Fields, only 2 Force Fields. Didn't use any in that engagement. Those 2 were thrown up when those Lings and Roaches were trying to do a counterattack. And 56 Chrono Boosts. Overall, not bad. Go to the resources spent. And Snute somehow still spends more than WhiteRa. And you can see his gas spending right here. It was even. And then what happened? Is this the Broodlords? Yeah, this is when he gets that Broodlord tech out at 2036. And you can see his gas just skyrocket. I mean, he was near where WhiteRa was endgame at 10k and jumps up to 17k. So he used about 50% of what he mined instantaneously, which is pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoyed the cast. If there's anything else you want to see, anything you liked, disliked about the cast, please let me know. And definitely, please subscribe, because I have 995 subscribers, so close to that 1,000. It would be so cool if I hit 1,000 before the end of this month, because my goal was 1,000 by July, my next birthday. And I crushed that quite a bit. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Take care.